Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we are back on Shansky's account and I'm going to showcase something that's actually pretty insane, pretty bonkers. Like, most of you already know that the best champions for the sake of Hydra are, the Krisks, Hanoraks, Duchess, Sifis, all the other crazy stuff. You've already seen some teams out there that can do, wonky Nightmare, full auto, semi-auto, clicking. And this is going to be another one of those type of teams. And basically it's kind of showing the power of the right champions. Like, Shansky's account is far from being like, endgame when it comes to the Great Hall, when it comes to the gear, when it comes to all the other stuff. And still we managed to achieve something pretty insane. And that's one King Nightmare Hydra, as it says on the thumbnail, by 10 minutes. That's just crazy. So basically what I will be doing is I will be showing you a little bit of the beginning of the run, explaining a little bit what needs to happen there. Then I'm gonna play the whole run. Afterwards I'm gonna try and cut it because I pre-recorded. I'm gonna have to add it, and I'm gonna cut it, let it go through for the whole time that it went, and then I'm gonna come and show you the builds. But let's start with the run itself that we're talking about. Let me just open the right thing. So basically this is the team that we are going to be using. So it's Kantra as the lead, and the reason why I'm using Kantra as the lead is because I could not hit the stats on Krisk for Nightmare Hydra. For the sake of Nightmare Hydra, to be safe on a Krisk, you want to hit 500 resist and around 400 accuracy, then give him something like 230, 240, 250 as fast as possible speed, because he does not put, he brings like lots of crazy stuff, but the increased speed that he brings, he does not place it on himself. So you want him to be pretty fast. And even if I would have used Duchess as the lead, she only boosts the speed by 19% of the base speed. So the accuracy lead from Kantra, the 60, actually helped me build everybody else well enough so that we can actually survive on this run. So the whole idea of this team is using obviously Kantra for all of her debuffs, and as a backup provoker, Krisk is obviously here for the provokes, for decreased speed, decreased attack, decreased defense, increased speed, all the madness that he brings, and for, trying to be the mischief target. It doesn't work 100% of the time because of all the crazy other buffs that we have, but most of the time he's gonna be like, if all goes well, he's gonna be the mischief target. We'll go for the sake of block buffs, just in case something happens. It's good to have block buffs for the sake of Poison Cloud, Mischief, Wrath, blocking all the other stuff. She's one of the best. Duchess is here because, Duchess. But yeah, Duchess is here for the AoE revives, Perfect Veil, the passive that brings damage mitigation, all the other stuff. Geo's here for the HP burn, in case we do not like the block buff somewhere with Ugo or with Kantra. Geo can place, that HP burn that goes through the Poison Cloud, and at the same time, he's one of the DPSs. He can do some crazy damage just with reflecting the damage from the AoE heads, such as Wrath, such as Blight, Torment, and even Suffering that have AoE hits. And then Acrisia, which is kind of going to be the main event of this video, she's just there for the insane smacks. Honestly, she's so good. Like, she's at the top of the list as one of my, top 3 most wanted champions right now. So it's like Kymar, Acrisia, and Krisk. I definitely want one of those. Maybe let's call it top 5, because I wouldn't mind Theodore or Yumeko. But yeah, her damage output is just, it's insane. It's insane. I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to show you the run. But the whole idea of how this run has to work is you want to try and get the perfect start because of the way the provoke works. And the perfect start basically is this one. You start with Krisk's provoke, as we saw there. Everybody does their own things. You start with Krisk's provoke. This was, I guess, a lucky thing that he got targeted. If anybody else would have gotten target, it's fine, not that big of a deal. Like, even if it's Acrisia, you just want to make sure that you have lots of debuffs on DK. And the way this run works, the reason why I call it semi-auto, is because you need to put it on auto and click the DK, head of DK if the head of DK is up, click the head of Mischief after the head of DK is down, or if the and only his up, and if neither of them are up, just do whatever, leave it on auto. And obviously for the sake of, you know, being sure, when somebody gets eaten, just click the head that ate one of your champions, and that way, trust me, Acresia is gonna get it sorted. But the way that this one started is obviously we started with some nukes, we started with a provoke, and we have lots of debuffs on the head of mischief. As you see, we have the 5 debuffs over there. Basically what that means is we need to have as many debuffs on the mischief, because the whole idea of how Kentra's provoke works is she has a 75 or 80%, I don't remember exactly, I think it's 75% chance to provoke the targets that have 4 or more debuffs when she gets a turn. So obviously that's why I want to click her, because you want to try and land the leech, you want to try and land the HP burn, as many debuffs on the head of decay, so that when Kentra gets a turn, boom, that happens, straight up the provoke gets in there. So after that, for example, now the head of DK gets a turn, guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna lose 3 debuffs. So we're gonna want to try and land the decrease speed from Krisk on the A1, or the decrease accuracy from Geo, or trying to get Kentra to do more debuffs. But guess what? You want Kentra to do that before, because if she takes a turn like this, see, the provoke didn't happen because there were not 3 debuffs. Now, if we come back around with the Kentra, we're good. However, because we have the decreased speed on the head of DK, Krisk actually gets the chance to come back, and even if the provoke did not go from Kentra now, Krisk would have landed on the A3 there. So that's all that you need. After that happens at the beginning, look at how much HP the head of DK has right now. Like, that's insane. Even look at that. Acresia killed herself. Duchess, because I didn't prioritize her skills, she didn't even do the revive yet, which would have been obviously the right call. But even like that, we are still going. The head of DK is almost down. Like, it's just bonkers. Like, the damage that Acresia brings in here is just insane. And actually, having Acresia kill herself early on, it's actually a good thing, because guess what? She loses that mark, and then we don't have to worry about clicking somebody else. So up until we kill the head of DK, we're good to go. After the head of DK is down, we're gonna be a little bit less stressed. But look at that damage again. Look at that, 368, 380,000. That Acresia damage is insane. She does between 700 to 800,000 damage on her A2 or on her A, specifically on her A3 to be fair, because that's the one that hits twice. The A1, for example, after gets ramped up because of the passive, hits for about like 300 to 400k, depending, you know, on decreased defense, weaken the target. Like, for example, if it hits Suffering, that's where it does lower damage, because Suffering is the tankier. But yeah, this is just insane. As you saw here, I changed the target on what's it called, Mischief, because I'm quite sure he's gonna die from the AoE hits, from the HP burn, so we don't need to worry. This head's gonna have a turn, so that head's gonna die. So I straight up change the target on the other one. Boom, look at that. DK is down, and we keep on going. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play it, hopefully I cut at the right time. After Mischief is, you know, from this point, I'm gonna play it on 2 times or 3 times speed. Let you enjoy the rest of the run, and they're gonna come back at the end, and I'm going to show you the damage and the build. So see you in a bit, guys. And we are back. Look at this insanity. 67.97 damage. That's semi-auto. That was 22 minutes. We already had the one key, as I mentioned on the thumbnail, by minute 10-11. That's just bonkers. And if you look at the damages, seeing there like Geo 10 million, Ugo 2.5, Krisk 3.2, 800,000 Duchess, 3.2k Kantra, and guess what's missing? The 47 million insanity from Acrisia. This is just crazy. The damage that Acrisia can do is just insane. Like, she's hands down the best DPS for Hydra, bar none. Like, I'm not even kidding. If you guys think somebody can do better damage than this, leave it in the comments below and tell me how and why do you think somebody can do more damage than Acrisia. But yeah, this was insane. Let's have a look at the presets that, honestly, I did not have the presets, and there were even some things that didn't happen at the right time, such as Geo had 7 turns in a row and he didn't use his A3, so that's something where we lost a little bit. But the way that you want it, and I think Kantra the same, the way that you want these to go is like, make Kantra prioritize her A2 always, obviously. Duchess, I didn't have this set either, so this is the best thing. Make her prioritize the revive in case somebody dies, and then the A2. Krisk, prioritize the A3, which is the provoke and increase speed, then prioritize the A2. Geomancer, prioritize the A3, honestly, lock the A2, because it's very rare when you want him to steal any, any buffs. You want just to have the A3 come back as fast as possible. Even though we'd only click one of them, one of the heads, you can try and swap it mid fight. If you see that one of them already has the HP burn and you don't want that target to be hit again, you just click another one. Because having him in the reflex that we have, he's gonna come back to this one pretty fast. So, you can keep an eye out, and at the end of the day, you don't necessarily need to do it on auto. If you want to hit over 100 million, you can try and do like some crazy damage with this one. Just, manual it and do the right thing. For Ugo, there's nothing set, and for Acrisia, nothing set as well, because they're going to do the right things at the right time. Then let's have a look at the builds that we have in there. So the builds, like I mentioned, let's start with Krisk. So Krisk has, as I said, trying to hit that 500 resist, we have 508, and trying to hit that 400 accuracy. We have 353 because we have the lead, like I mentioned earlier, from Kantra that gives us an extra 60 accuracy and over 250 speed. And look at this, the HP and defense is nothing too crazy. I've seen some other people that had 80,000 HP and like 5k defense. This is not too crazy. This just shows the power of having the right champions in the right builds with the right team synergy. Obviously, he's fully booked, and these are his masteries. These are the masteries that we used on Krisk, a little bit of War Master because an AoE 1 and AoE 2, and then Lasting Gifts and Master Hexer to extend all of his buffs and debuffs, and at the same time Rapid Response plus Arcane Celerity, because he put so many buffs and debuffs. You want to, every time they wear off, you get turn meters. You want Krisk to move as fast as possible to come back to his increased speed, to his A2, to his decreased speed. He's just a beast. Like, I would love to have a Krisk to play around with on my own account. Then, you know what, let's have a look at Acrisia straight up. Because I did not have a good enough, like, reflex or relentless for Acrisia, how I wanted to build her, I put her in Savage and gave her 2 pieces of revenge. You saw how many times she actually counterattacked. That's just busted. Honestly, that might even be an idea, which might slow down the run, but it might even be an idea testing out Acrisia, because she ramped up her A1 and she does a good amount of damage on the A1. It might be a good idea to try and play her in retaliation. That's something to think, and that's something that I might try if I ever get one myself, or maybe on this account. But the stats that we had is 223, like, we'd like to be faster, but this is fine. 100% crit rate, 229 crit damage, and you don't care about anything else. The reason why is Acrisia has a really fun passive that says that if the enemy has double her HP or more, her damage scales off of max HP, which means you don't care about her attack. You only care about as much crit damage as possible. I don't want accuracy. I did give her 258 resist because we have decreased accuracy that can be placed by Geo and what's her face, Kantra, and by having that, there's a chance that all your other champions, if the decreased accuracy is there, they can resist mischief, and they will 100% almost always will resist everything else. So having that decreased accuracy gives us the option to give over 250, like 250, 300 resist, so that everybody else can resist poisons, provokes, weakens, every other debuff that the Hydra head does. The masteries that we use for her, straight up, I went down the offense tree and the defense tree. I didn't really care about the support tree because she only has the decreased defense on the A1, and unless he's gonna build Acrisia to be used for somewhere else, this is all you want her to do. Give her a little bit more of the resist to help out. Give her the, extra healing, resurgent, the delay death, extra survivability, and then the retribution plus the deterrence, which can help when the head of torment is out there, and obviously War Master and Life Drinker. But yeah, let's have a look at the passive, which actually says decreases the damage taken from AoE attacks by 50%. That's like having almost 2 stalwart sets on her. That's pretty insane. And this is the one that says that, you know, if the target's max HP is more than double this one, damage will be based on max HP instead of the champion's attack. So which means that, you know, max HP, max HP, max HP, you only care about crit damage, and whatever attack you get in the meantime, it is what it is, doesn't really help. I had some interesting builds, like let me even show you. Put HP ring on this one because we don't care about attack. Crit damage, obviously. And a resistance banner. So we even have some random builds, but look at how good she actually performed and survived in this build. So keep that in mind when you build her. Obviously this one's crit damage. Again, defense percent here. This is what it gave us. And speed and some other stats. Now let's go to Kentra. Kentra, for the sake of a little bit of survivability, I built her in a Guardian set. Guardian set basically takes 10%. She takes basically 10% of all the damage that everybody else takes onto herself. So that helps out Krisk as well. That has that does the ally protection. So that makes all of us survive. And at the same time, it heals her. She heals by 10%. Every time she gets a turn. So this is a really good way and a really good set to use on her for the sake of this team, because you could use that on, for example, a Duchess, but Duchess normally would have her built differently for the sake of Arena. So these are the stats for Kentra. Again, you want to have that 400 accuracy. We have 384 plus her lead, that's good enough. And again, 250. Maybe you would like Kentra to have a little bit more resist, like close to 300 and a bit, because she steals buffs on her A1, and if that happens, she could take the mischief target on herself. But yeah, Kentra's kit is actually pretty awesome for the sake of Hydra. These are the masteries that we put. I really like Giant Slayer on her because her A2 has a triple hitter, her A1 has a double hit, and obviously here the things that, you know, because lots of debuffs happen, so you want these ones on the support tree. Then Duchess is built in a swift parry and some resist for the sake of you know, arena and dungeons and overall use. Around 250 speed is preferable, good HP, good defense, and even give her a little bit of resist because, you know, we could afford to, and why not. And look at this, I even forgot to reset the masteries here. Duchess even had War Master. We should reset the Duchess and give her timely intervention and, you know, take down the support and defense tree. But you know what? Let's just leave it here for now. I'm gonna reset it after I finish this. Then Geomancer has these masteries. The reason why I went this way is because I prepared his Geo to have 500 accuracy. I wanted to prepare this Geo to get to 520 accuracy for the sake of the Iron Twins to be used as well. Because if you already know, I'm using my Geomancer in the Iron Twins in the same build that I'm using him for Hydra, so I had to give him an extra 100 accuracy. So that's why he's 500 accuracy, and I could only achieve that by taking the Eagle Eye. If we had a little bit better reflex gear, or if we did not want to prepare Geo for the sake of Iron Twins, I could have just stopped with him at 340 accuracy, and then I could have taken War Master, and we could have gotten a lot more damage from Geo doing the A1s and proccing those War Masters. But because I went this way, keep in mind, you know, if you struggle to hit some stats, guys, you don't always have to take the War Master. You can take Eagle Eye, or you can take Unshakable, depending on what stats you are lacking. And obviously the reflex set is the best, like I said, for the sake of him. These are his stats. Again, it's nothing too crazy, but because you have Krisk in there and Kentra's Guardian, for the sake of survivability, that goes hand in hand well. And even if you have somebody as squishy as I have my Geo, it still works well enough. And then the last one is Ugo, which is in a Relentless, because I did not have a good enough reflex set left to use on her, and you know, HP was a bit too low. I think I would have gotten like 45k HP, which is pretty low. I chose to go this way because I want to give her high HP because she's the only healer that we have in the team. And she did pretty well. So again, same thing, 332 accuracy. I wanted like 10-20 more here, even with a 60 lead from Kentra, but this was good enough. And again, around 250 resist for the sake of resisting some of those debuffs when the decreased accuracy is out there. 257 speed, like good enough speed, and then survivability. But like I said, I did not optimize for survivability, I optimized for HP, because I want to have as much HP because of her A3. Her A3, she heals, what is it? Heals allies by 20% of this champion's max HP. So the more HP Ugo has, the higher the heals. But yeah, Ugo's just a beast, one of the best epics for the sake of Hydra. And these are Ugo's masteries. War Master for a bit more damage, and then down the support and then down the support tree. The reason why I went like this is because, like I said, I want to get as big heals as I can from Ugo, since it's the only way we can heal unless Duchess revives somebody and puts continuous heals on everybody else. And down the support tree, Master Hexer, and I wanted Sniper for an extra chance to land that Leech on the A1. But yeah, this was a little bit of a longer video, guys, but you know, I wanted to showcase this insanity, and I wanted to explain, like, you know, everybody's builds and the reason why I'm losing everybody and their whole synergy. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was pretty awesome. It's, you know, it might be, I guess this is a combination of a guide and a showcase, because, you know, it's a showcase because you have those crazy champions, you know, Kresk, Akrisia, Duchess, you know, that's 3 top tier legendaries. Now, you know, you can count Akrisia as a top tier one as well, and then, you know, the other ones are pretty decent. Kantra used to be a fusion like 2-3 years ago. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I hope this, you know, I hope you had fun watching all those crazy hits from Akrisia. I definitely did. If you do enjoy my content, do not forget to subscribe and like this video as well, and I will see you all in the next one, guys. Peace, love, take care everyone, bye.